We're here today to share with you guys our top 5 favorite places to take our kids while we're in New York City. We're gonna start with our number 5 favorite place and work our way up to number 1.
Starting with number 5, Top of the Rock. The Top of the Rock was one of our kids' favorite things to do in New York City, mainly because of that initial elevator ride up. It's pretty cool because it's got a glass view, basically watching yourself go up 70 stories in an elevator. Kids were all pretty excited. Another thing that the kids loved was looking at the city as the lights were coming on. I know Ryan thought that every single light that was out there was a fire. And he kept saying, now as far as some of the planning, you definitely want to go early. Those tickets sell out really quick. It's a very popular destination. I know for my mom and I, we actually showed up at 6 o'clock in the evening to get the sunset tickets. We found out that it was completely sold out. So we actually bought the tickets for the day after. For those of you that are in the military, it's pretty cool because the Top of the Rock has a pretty sweet military discount. I know Cassie and I were able to get tickets during sunset for $53 for both of us. One of the cool things though, is if you have kids that are 5 and under, they're free. That's probably one of the coolest parts about doing the Top of the Rock with our family.
Okay, the views at the Top of the Rock are breathtaking. Now, if any of you are like me and are an anxious mother, then Top of the Rock is still the place for you. This place has glass walls all around at the top, so you don't have to worry about your kids falling over the edge, getting too close. Safety first, safety first.
Thanks, honey. Now, speaking of glass, let's go ahead and jump into number 4.
Number 4
is the Sea Glass Carousel. Jinx.
Personal jinx.
Knock on wood.
Okay, well. The Sea Glass Carousel is an amazing experience for kids, especially. I know both of our kids loved it. We also brought along their cousin. The Sea Glass Carousel is like no other carousel you've ever been to. It's an amazing aquatic carousel. Each fish has speakers embedded into it, bioluminescent lights to give you that feel like you're actually under the sea. AJ actually wrote it. What do you think? Did you feel like you were deep under the sea?
I felt like I was about 2,000 feet in the Atlantic Ocean.
That's right. So as you can imagine, if an adult had an amazing experience on the carousel, just think how your children are gonna feel riding this carousel.
Now let me tell you why I got to experience the Sea Glass Carousel. So if you have children that are under 42 inches, then you, mom or dad, or uncle, or brother, or sister, whoever, have to ride with your 41.5-inch child.
That's right.
Aria was 41.5 inches and they made me buy a ticket. So I got to enjoy it with my lovely children.
It made the kids' day, and so we don't regret it one bit.
The cool thing about the Sea Glass Carousel is it's actually right next to the Staten Island Ferry.
Moving on to number 3, Disney store / M&M store / Times Square.
All right, so here we are in Times Square. Mila was sleeping. Now she's wide awake. Look at Mila just barely enjoying herself. Oh, we got the Golden Arch right there behind us.
We've been to Times Square twice, once without kids, once with 1 kid, and now this time with 3. We already knew what to expect. We knew it was gonna be hectic, busy, with the city hustle and bustle all around us. But we are here to say that we survived and we actually had a good time. It was fun. The kids loved the bright screens, the big M&M store, the big golden arches in the background. It was nothing like seeing McDonald's in bright lights. It's just everything about Times Square feels magical.
Illuminescent. So one of the cool things I liked about the M&M store was the kids had the opportunity to make their own little bags of M&Ms. Now, as a parent, I wasn't a big fan of it because I don't like paying $8 for that many M&Ms. But the kids love the experience of, you know, putting random colors inside of their bags, mixing them up, and then eating them afterwards.
We were like trying to be conservative, made sure they weren't doing like big pulls, because you've got to be careful. You pull that thing and it's gonna with M&Ms.
So just a warning for all you parents out there are no baby diaper changing stations at the M&M store. I got to experience that firsthand. Cassie went to go change Mila's diaper and the girls' bathroom line was wrapped around the store.
It was horrible. I mean, the line was so far wrapped that we were like, the men's room is totally empty. Let's get AJ and make him change Mila.
I walked in the men's room, there was about 2 other guys in there. No diaper changing station anywhere. So I laid her down and I got to change her gorgeous little diaper.
Which was filled with poop, so I'm not sure how gorgeous it was.
Yeah, it wasn't all that gorgeous.
And then the Disney store. What an experience. I love Disney. We are big Disney fans. We did take our 1-month-old to Disney World. We're crazy.
As far as the Disney store is concerned, obviously any kid loves going into a Disney store. They love seeing all the characters and all the costumes and such. Even I myself enjoyed it too because I figured out what I want to be for Halloween. We are going to be the Incredibles family.
That's right.
Right? You know, there's 5 of them and there's 5 of us, so why not? You know, we'll have Mila be baby Jack.
You're looking at Elastigirl.
What am I?
Here's
Mr. Incredible. Dos. All right, moving on to number 2, the Staten Island Ferry. Now, I think this is number 2 because this is where the kids probably had some of the most fun. And as a parent who's on a budget, it's free. There's absolutely no tickets required. There's no admission needed. You literally show up to the Staten Island Ferry terminal and you hop on the boat. It's so simple. One of the crazy things about the Staten Island Ferry is how hectic that terminal becomes.
Oh my God.
Look at the boat.
As we got onto the boat, everything really mellowed out. There are 4 decks on this boat. The boat is huge, so there's plenty of space for big families and tons of people to get onto the boat and still catch a great view of the Statue of Liberty. I
think one of the coolest things that I personally liked about going on the Staten Island Ferry was just watching the Coast Guard circle the boat.
Hey, why are you so closer than that eye?
That's the Coast Guard. Wave at them. Say hi, Coast Guard.
We love you. Why should you?
It's time for our number 1 favorite place to take our kids while we're in New York City. And that number 1 is Central Park.
Go figure. Kids love going to the park, so why not Central Park?
Central Park is the most amazing place to take kids. It's basically an endless playground. We took our kids to 2 awesome playgrounds that we highly recommend. Ancient Playground and Hertfordshire
Playgrounds?
Hertfordshire Playgrounds?
Something like that, yeah.
The playgrounds had rocks to climb, tunnels, everything was made out of cement.
They had sand, they had water.
Everything you could think of that a kid would want to play with or play in, they had it there at these parks. And the best part about it was they're gated. It's a great break for the entire family. And let's not forget that Central Park is filled with tons of areas where you can lay out and relax with the family. You can really make an entire day out of Central Park.
Yeah, I think my mom saw a pretty cool sign there too. It said, no adults over 18 years old are allowed to be at the park without children. So as an adult, you need to have a child at the park, otherwise it's prohibited. I was climbing boulders with Arya. I don't know what I was thinking, but it was a pretty cool experience for her. She got to climb the mountain. And take some pretty cool pictures of the city.
When we go to New York City, we love to take our family photos at Central Park, and there's tons of spots and tons of areas that are shaded and just with beautiful city backgrounds. It's just breathtaking. You don't have to worry about kids running into a road and getting hit by a taxi because it's New York City.
Wow. So now that we've shared our top 5 favorite places to take your kids in New York City, we wanted to give you guys some of our do's and don'ts.
Do's and don'ts, okay?
Do make sure that you plan your trip accordingly.
Don't take the subway with 4 kids. We just got off the subway.
I'm lost. So disoriented right now.
Unless you know where you're going.
That's right, yes, because if you don't plan on how to take the subway the right way, you end up doing what we did quite a few times. The first time, we went down on the wrong side of the track, then we had to get back up, cross the sidewalk, get back down. The second time, this one led us to Grand Central Station.
And it was an experience, a really bad one.
Yeah.
So learn from our mistakes. Don't get off at Grand Central Station unless you're trying to. Just make sure you're on the right subway because that can be really stressful when you've got kids in tow.
Yeah, because when you think you're on the right color line, but then it passes your stop and then it passes 2 additional stops because it's going straight through and you get off 9 blocks later than you anticipated, it's a long walk back to the hotel. So being on the top of the rock is actually pretty cool as far. Cool. All right.